Hi, welcome back to the vlog. I kind of took a little bit of time away and I have some updates to share. Don't even really know how to start this portion of the video, but I just wanted to give you guys kind of a big update. If you haven't seen on Instagram, then you probably don't know, but we lost our dog Greyson. He was with us for 9 years. He was gonna be 10 in November. It happened so quickly and really unexpectedly. He declined very rapidly. I'm gonna try to hold together my emotions for this video because we pretty much spent like a good four or 5 days crying, you know, grieving, barely left the house to do anything. So I've kind of got over the big hump of grief, and you know, it's been really hard, but I just kind of want to share with you guys what happened. And I kind of wanted to share too because he was a part of our life, our family. You guys have always asked about him and asked how he's been doing, and you know, I wasn't really showing him that much, but he's always really had, sorry, my cat is, I swear, every time I turn the camera on, she is just always all over me. I want to say about 4 years ago though, that his littermate sister passed away from cancer, bone cancer, and I always thought like, gosh, what if this happens to Greyson? One of the biggest things that we dealt with him that we never really got any diagnosis for or, you know, pursued any additional testing was that he had chronic vomiting. And we, you know, did all the right things that were recommended to us by vets, and, you know, switching up his food, always getting him everything sensitive stomach because he had a sensitive stomach. That was the extent of anything that we've ever dealt with him health-wise. Other than that, he's been a healthy dog. And then a few weeks ago, I just knew something was wrong with him, and he threw up about 9 times. And I was like, this is not normal, like something's seriously going wrong. We need to get, you know, him checked out. So we brought him in and did, you know, blood tests, got him a whole body exam, everything. And the doctor was pretty sure that he had lymphoma cancer. Many of his symptoms pointed to that. The blood tests came back showing certain things, and his lymph nodes were incredibly enlarged. And then we also noticed that he lost about 10 pounds this past year. So after all of that, you know, getting this diagnosis, we were like, okay, you know, let's just do whatever we can, make him comfortable. There's really nothing they can do. And he is a purebred Malamute, so their life expectancy is about 9 to 10 years. He's about to be 10. You know, of course, they did not recommend for us to go through with treatment. I don't even know if his body could handle it. Brought him home. We started to make him home cooked meals. He was not eating. He would not eat anything. He was acting very strange, like eating the kids' ice cream, eating things off the floor that are just not normal. Like, he wasn't the kind of dog that would eat table food. Like, you could drop a cracker on the floor and he wouldn't even touch it. Like, he just was the most picky. He was such a picky eater. You know, you bring him to the pet store and they would like offer him a treat and he'd be like, nah, I'm good. So he was just acting very strange. My husband got him the farmer's dog food. He wouldn't even touch it. He wouldn't eat kibble. He wouldn't eat chicken and rice, nothing. Like, he just wasn't eating and persistently kept throwing up and having diarrhea. And it was bad. Couldn't keep anything down. He just was drinking water. On steroids, we did anti-nausea medication. And he went, I want to say, almost 3 days without eating anything but just drinking water. And then one day we woke up to a ton of diarrhea all over the kitchen, and he started pooping blood. And I was wiping the backside of him, and it was just blood. And I just knew like he was really struggling, and his stomach was... I called my husband and I was like, we gotta take him in. Like, it's happening. I don't know. This is just not okay. He's really struggling. And that day was really chilly out, and he was sitting out on the deck because I kept cleaning everything up in the kitchen, and he just wanted to be out there on the deck because he loved the cold breeze. And of course, I'm sure it made him feel a little bit better because his stomach had to have been in knots from throwing up. And so I tried to get him out the door, to get him in the car, and he wouldn't go downstairs. He wouldn't follow me. I tried to give him treats. I brought him outside, and he turned right around and sat by the front door, just waiting to go back inside because he wanted to be home. Anyway, I eventually got him in the car, brought him into the vet, and put him on the scale, and he lost another 7 pounds in less than a week. I could feel his hips and his spine. I could feel how thin he was, and he just declined so quick. We had to make a decision. I think ultimately me and my husband, like, we wanted him to maybe go in his sleep and just, you know, him be at home in the place where he wanted to be, but I could not see him suffer anymore. I could not see him, you know, and his body failing him. And so we made the decision, and it was one of the worst things I've ever seen. Didn't expect to grieve the way I did. I've never really seen like a dog put to sleep before, and that was just incredibly hard for us. We were in the room for everything, and yeah, I almost feel like just flashbacks of our whole life with him just flooded my brain, and he was the best dog that we could have ever asked for. He was so good with the kids, just never did anything. For about a week, because this happened, it's Friday, so this happened a week ago. He was put down on Friday. So it's been weird, you know, the routine of like getting up and taking care of him, and it's been strange. But you know, that chapter is now closed, and we've just been reflecting a lot on all the memories with him. We told the kids, I don't think they fully understand, but when we do ask them like, where is Greyson, they just say that, you know, he's in heaven. That is what the update I wanted to share with you guys. Nothing else really going on. I'm about to go do another wedding today. I've been pretty busy with that. And the kids are in school. They are sick again. I feel like they're constantly sick. Nora's asthma has been pretty bad. Every time the weather changes or she even gets a stuffy nose, her asthma is triggered. So that's been fun. Caden's got like a croupy cough. So last vlog that I shared with you guys, I was organizing the toys and doing a bunch of organization, sharing new things with you. I am going to show you what I did to that corner in my living room with all the toy organization. Of course, it's been a couple weeks now and it's not as organized as it was, but I will still show you. And then also a huge thing, which my husband was like, I feel like you impulsively did this, like this was not necessary, but I also think it was a little bit of just a distraction for me. Ever since Gray passed, I feel like I needed something to get, like, I needed something to distract my mind and get that off my mind, so I decided to redo Caden's bedroom, get them a whole new bunk bed and put wallpaper up. And like I didn't go crazy, I just got like a new bed, wallpaper, and a new rug, and rearranged the room. So I will also show you guys that, but that's just been a little distraction for me. And I love projects. I love, you know, give me a good project, and that just makes me so happy. It's just been a really rough week, and I just haven't pulled out the camera, but I thought an update was appropriate, so I wanted to share that with you guys. I also did a Bible study on my main channel. I don't know if I shared that with you guys last vlog, but it's all about, you know, how to overcome anxiety and depression, and, you know, how to renew your mind. It was a study that I actually shared, I want to say like a year ago or so, a Bible study that I did, and I decided to refilm it for YouTube. So I will put that link below if you guys are interested. Look at this fluffy girl right now, belly out and everything. So I gotta pack up the car, get ready for this wedding, and I will probably vlog a little bit later and show you guys some house updates, and I'll show you guys the room, Caden's room upstairs, and everything else. So I'll be back in a little bit. I am horrible at this vlog thing because I completely forgot to vlog the other day when I got home. That wedding ended up taking way longer than I thought it would, and then by the time we got home, you know, we were cooking dinner, and we actually had plans for dinner with our friends. So I just got caught up and I forgot to pull out the camera again, but I wanted to get back into finishing this vlog today. It's kind of been several days. I really was not feeling too well the past few days. I've just been really out of it, like emotionally, physically, I don't know, but I was not feeling great. So I'm feeling much better today. I think that time of the month is coming. I'm making Nora and I some lunch right now. I'm just heating up some leftovers for me, but then just threw in some food for her, and I got a bunch of like laundry done and cleaning, and I've really been just doing stuff around the house today, but I managed to like get myself somewhat ready. Sometimes when I do that, it just makes me feel better. So I wanted to show you guys this area now that I have cleared out all of the toys and whatnot. This is what I came up with. So I got this piece of furniture from Wayfair. I absolutely love it, and it has so much storage, but the toys are hidden. I don't have to see them every day, and they're not in like these baskets that are just falling out of the cubbies. Just decorate a little bit for fall. All this stuff is really things that I've had from past years. Most of it is from like Home Goods and whatnot. Inside I'll show you, and it's, again, not very organized right now. It was, but the kids put everything away. And we use like these organizer bags like I've showed before in previous vlogs. I'll link these below, but these are super helpful when organizing stuff. And then all my baskets and whatnot, I also get them on Amazon or like from Target. Again, in here, just some more baskets, but it could fit like some decent size, like medium baskets. Fits a ton of toys. And it's deep enough where I can get like, you know, enough in here, and it is stored away, and I love it. On the mirror at Home Goods as well, I want to say these candlesticks are from Amazon, and like the pumpkins, everything else is really from Home Goods. This is from Target. Florals, also I think from Amazon. I got this new pumpkin, which I thought was super cute. I just love the mixed wood tones. And I want to say this comes in a couple colors, but I tried to get something that matched well with this piece over here. This one's a tad bit lighter. I will try to link this too. I get so many questions about our entertainment center. This is also from Wayfair, and I love it so much. Yeah, it's just like a lighter oak wood. I am getting ready. I have a meeting at my son's school in couple hours and I just wanted to come on here and talk a little bit. There's like been some things that have been on my mind, and I don't know, I want to talk about this topic, and it's been a little bit since I've read one of my devotionals. But I got a question recently from someone close to me that said, do you really think that you have become a better person by reading the Bible and having a relationship with God? Can I just say this? The Christian life sometimes is not appealing. And what do I mean by that? There's a lot of misunderstanding when it comes to people following Christ and what their life should look like. And this is, I could get really deep into this topic, but there is a lot of suffering when you accept Christ. The Bible never says that you will have a blessed life with an abundance of money and no problems, and as soon as you accept Christ, your life is going to turn around and everything's going to be happy and butterflies and rainbows. No, it actually says the opposite. It actually says that your faith will be tested and you will suffer. There are so many Bible passages that talk about suffering, and every single disciple, a follower of Christ in the Bible, the stories that you read, even Job, the book of Job itself, speaks about suffering as a Christian. And every person suffered in some way. You can look at Jesus himself. He suffered. And so we suffer because of what Jesus suffered. There is no true faith without suffering. There is no dependence on the Lord without suffering. Because if everything was handed to us, then why would there be a need for God? If we gain the whole world, if we gain everything this world has to offer, there would be no need for God. And God created us for a reason. God doesn't need us, he wants us. He created us to need him, because we cannot go through these things in life without him. A question was asked to me and I had to explain the reason for suffering and the change that happens inside someone through sanctification when you become a Christian, when you accept Christ. It's a hard thing to understand and explain, because again, there's this misconception that like, well, you say all these good things about God, but like, I see you suffering. I see you going through hardships. I see your attitude, your mental health being tested, all of these things, right? So you question, like, is this person really bearing fruits? And this is also something that I have struggled with internally, and have prayed to God about, is like, God, am I truly bearing fruit? Does my life reflect your fruits of the Spirit? I struggle with this, but I also understand that God gives us grace, and he is so merciful, and that it is a process of sanctification, and it takes years. It takes a long time for you to have this transformation, and it starts as soon as you accept Christ. The person I was speaking to is struggling with their faith belief, and really understanding that the Bible itself, the Word of God, can truly transform your life and yourself. I think it also is kind of a reality check for us, because when we get these questions, we need to think to ourselves, like, well, how am I reflecting Christ? Does my life reflect Christ? Because if we want people to know more of who God is, how Jesus is, we need to actually reflect Jesus. We are supposed to be the light in the darkness. We are supposed to be the light and salt of the earth. So
how do we go about that? And we have to be honest. We have to be honest about the struggle. We have to be honest about what it looks like to be a Christian. I feel like many people get turned away or think negatively about accepting Jesus because they look at Christians stumbling and they look at their life and they see suffering and they're like, I don't want that. Like, why would I want to suffer more? Are you kidding me? But I also think you need to understand that the devil rules over the earth and he also gives too. So the devil wants nothing more than for you to gain the treasures of the earth, possessions and money and idols, all of these things that he wants you to be obsessive over and gain the world, so that you have no desire for God. You have no desire to have a relationship with him. You know, even the richest people in the world are still empty and miserable because they're gaining everything of the world, but there's a lack there. There is a love that they don't have. And God says that he gives us peace that the world does not give, right? When we do go through this sanctification process, this transformation within us, we start to realize the idols we have in our life. We start to realize the things that we struggle with. Jesus says to pick up your cross daily and follow him. We are supposed to deny those fleshly desires. Important too that we have grace for other Christians, because we are not perfect. We do not live perfect lives. We are all sinners. We all fall short every single day. I make mistakes. I struggle just like you and everyone else. I think that a lot of people have church hurt. They see maybe how previous pastors or priests have seen a reflection of their life and they're like, well, isn't God supposed to be like this? Isn't Jesus supposed to be like this? So if they're preaching like that and then doing that behind closed doors or have this kind of life, why should I follow them? You know, like sometimes have a false look into the Christian life from church hurt. And that saddens me. I often say, you know, you don't have to find God in church. I didn't find God in a church. I found him through hitting rock bottom and mentally struggling and pursuing God by myself in my home through conversation with him. Like, it was never me walking into a church and receiving God, you know? And that actually may be the case for some of you. Maybe you did experience God for the first time in a church. I'm not saying that you can't. I'm just saying that that's not always someone's story. It's not my story. I actually walked away from the church and found God on my own, and then found a church that really welcomed me and I felt comfortable in, and then I pursued a different, you know, denomination or a non-denominational. I was Catholic. Anyway, going back, talking about suffering, I think that as Christians we are actually made to suffer, because we will never ever understand what Jesus did on the cross for us if we don't suffer ourselves. We'll never understand the dependence on God if we don't suffer ourselves. We'll never grow in our faith if we don't suffer ourselves. We will never have endurance through pain if we don't suffer ourselves. And it's such a lesson that is learned when you start the Christian life. But I think it saddens me that people walk away from it because they see someone maybe going through hardship, or they see the isolation, they see the loneliness, they see the mental struggle, and it's all a part of the sanctification. Like, I don't know how else to explain it, but it's literally a process that you go through when you follow Christ, because he says we are supposed to deny ourselves. We are supposed to pick up our cross and follow him. Another thing I think about too is that I don't think many people want to give up their possessions or give up their idols. give up things that they're dependent on. Maybe it's alcohol, maybe it's smoking, maybe it's partying, and I don't know. I don't know what it could be. There's many things. Trying out this new BB cream. I got it on TikTok Shop, but it's like, I guess, a Korean brand. Misha Perfect Cover BB cream. It says it's full coverage. I don't even know if I got the right shade, but this is what it looks like. And it does have SPF. The shade's a little light for me, but I'm gonna get paler anyway because it's, you know, gonna be winter. But I really love the way it feels on the skin, and it covers like just enough, but leaves me feeling like, I don't know, fresh face, glowy. The thing about suffering too as a Christian is that as soon as you accept God and accept Jesus, you are now a threat to the enemy. So the devil will tend to attack you more because you're not doing what he wants you to do. You are following God instead of following his ways. You're going against the world. That's also why people that are really of the world and following the devil's ways, they're not attacked. Maybe they're not suffering as much. You know, there's that saying where it's like, why do bad things happen to good people? Good. We are not all good, but I'm just generalizing that because that's just like a cliche saying. We will never know why bad things happen to good people. But I will tell you that a lot of it, you know, tends to be money. Money fuels a lot of things in this world, and the enemy wants nothing more than the rich to be richer. And God blesses in ways that we don't understand. God can bless abundantly any way possible. You know, like he can bless financially, but he also kind of expects us to use the things he blesses us with and steward them well. Like steward them in the way that he wants us to. I also think, if I'm being honest, that's why I'm seeing many people, especially like social media influencers, certain people that are very well off, now finding God. Maybe we're involved in things that were not great, and finding Jesus and now using their wealth, using their platform for God's glory. I think as Christians we go through many different seasons where God prunes us and God empties us, God, you know, putting us through trials and tribulations in order to help us depend on him more, trust in him more. And that's what it's all about. Because as soon as you say yes, God is going to start this relationship with you. And it's a beautiful, amazing relationship. But it comes with testing. And some people say, like, you know, well, why is there suffering in the world? And, you know, why do people suffer? You know, God doesn't cause the suffering. We live in a fallen world where there is sin. We are all sick with sin. But God also allows suffering. So he's not the cause of it. There is not an ounce of bad in God. But he will allow. Just like how, like I said in the book of Job, the devil went to God and said, hey, can I test your faithful servant Job? And God allowed it. God allowed him to suffer well. And the one thing I love about the book of Job too is not once does Job turn his face from God and walk away from God. He is in constant communication with God throughout the entirety of the book and is constantly questioning God and having that conversation. And that's what I love about it so much, is like, not once did he walk away and was just like, I'm done with you, God. Like he was just always asking, why am I going through this? Even questioned him being born, like was suicidal. Recently got this Dibs contour and blush stick. I really like it. I would say a dupe for this is the Physicians Formula, which I was using, and I really like this one. This is the Butter Glow and Go. I don't really use the blush, but I do use the bronzer, and I got mine in Sun-Kissed Rose in the Physicians Formula, but very similar. For a cheaper option, you could try the Physicians Formula one, but I did want to try the Dibs. I've heard really good things about it. I've also gotten their powder bronzer. Really quick makeup. This is what I do like every single day. I love a lot of cream products because it just gives me more of a youthful appearance. I only really set a little bit under my eyes, my chin, and like right here. Other than that, I don't set the rest of my face. I also got this Dibs powder. It has like a brighten and blur kind of duo. I've also been trying this, just like a little dusting of it right under my eyes. I really have the worst under eye situation and I hate it so much. Spray that I've been loving lately is this D'Alba First Spray Serum. I finished my hair, finished my makeup a little. I just did super light on my makeup. I don't feel like putting lashes on. I'm just using this Laneige Lip Slipping Mask. This is in the Strawberry Shortcake one. I've been wanting to try different, not flavors, but just different scents of the sleeping mask, and still the gummy bear is my favorite. Like, it will just never change. I wanted to try this one and it doesn't compare. I'm sorry, but the gummy bear is just above all of them. Literally the comfiest, dreamiest blanket on Amazon. I'm usually really lazy and I don't do my bed, but today I decided to be better. I stopped to get something to eat. I am treating myself to a Rice Krispie treat. I came and got a salad at Salad Works because I was like craving it. And I got my period today and I'm happy about it because I have the worst premenstrual symptoms. I feel like I'm dying before I get my period, and then as soon as I get my period, a lot of those symptoms go away. So I am happy right now. 3 weeks out of the month, I am not my normal self because I also experience extreme ovulation symptoms, and then it's the pre-menstrual symptoms, and then it's the period. So as soon as my period ends, I have about 5 days where I feel like a normal human being. All right, so finally getting around to showing you Caden's room and kind of the changes that we've made. I put up a new wallpaper. We used to have 2 twin beds in here, one for Bella, one for Caden. If you guys didn't know, my stepdaughter and my son share a room. It's just what works for right now, and I decided to upgrade them to a bunk bed, get Bella a new, like, bigger bed so she can have a full, and then Caden's, of course, his bed's not made. The paper is kind of showing up gray, but it's like green. Kind of looks like, I don't know, a forest or something. This dresser was on the side of the road and my husband refurbished it, painted the bottom, and then we left the top. It's gotta be like really expensive. It looks like something that would be from Pottery Barn. It's real wood. We changed out the knobs and it's so heavy. I don't even know how someone could have just thrown this away. It is a very big chunky piece of furniture, and this is such an awkward space right here by the door. So I don't really know what we're doing with this space right here. We just have the dresser. I did get a new rug, and it's also coming up very gray and black, but it actually is like green tones in it.
I got that off Amazon. And then over here, again, don't really know what I want to do with this space. We're debating on moving the TV over here, getting a bigger TV, and then doing something on the other wall. Really haven't switched around the room since Caden was a baby. Like the dresser used to be over here under that mirror, and then I had like some little shelving, which was this, over there. And I haven't moved it, like literally since he's been born. So I was just looking for a change in here. The kids have honestly been loving the bunk bed. I grew up never having a bunk bed, and I just think it's really fun. Caden and Nora literally have been having sleepovers in here and just enjoying it. I still don't know what I want to do with the walls and any of the other like decor pieces. Got some new curtains and that's about it. I mean, I put some plants up here because they've really been loving the sunlight coming in. This is totally destroyed. So many marks and bubbles. Also love the fact that this bed has so much storage underneath, so I'm actually planning on getting some like toy baskets. I have one under there right now, but I can also store some like shoes under here or anything that Bella has. I can store underneath because there's so much clearance. I also got a new mattress on Amazon. It's just a little update of their room. I don't really know what else to do in here, but it's a nice little change for now. Got two adorable little sweater sets with these skirts and cardigans. This one is like a cream and it has these like dark green little bows on it, little buttons, and then this like pleated little skirt. It fits her because I did get a 4T, and sometimes Marshalls like with their brands, and I don't know, this one is called Hot Hippie Style. Sometimes they can run a little bit big. Like some of the PJs, which I show all the time from Marshalls, get all of her PJs at Marshalls because they have such cute styles. I'll show you a few more, but they sometimes can run a little big. This one I thought was so cute. I couldn't pass it up. This one is from Cupcakes and Cashmere. I did get this one in a 3T because it's the only size that they had, but it looks like it would fit her, the skirt. And it's the softest, when I tell you, the softest material ever. Has these really cute little like gold and pink buttons with bows on it, and even came with these little bows for her accessory. $24.99 for this set. I just couldn't pass it up. Same with this one, $24.99. Obsessed. And I tell you, literally all of her PJs are from Marshalls, but I recently got these ones that I thought were so cute, and these are big on her. Like the bottoms are huge. She's like swimming in them, but it comes with the little shorts, the long sleeve top. This one's the brand Tahari. We have many different ones from this brand from Marshalls. I just couldn't pass this up. Like this was so cute to me. And then the pants. So it's like a 3-piece set. Plus it came with a little eye mask. All the ruffles at the bottom. The little satin tie for the shorts. The softest material. And then it came with this. Night night. Boo. Also these ones with the bows. This is the same brand Tahari. Love, 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 love.